Hello, and thank you for checking out my video. I hope to create an entire series of my trip down the Mississippi River headwaters that you will really enjoy. From the river itself to the big lakes I crossed, the wilderness I've seen, and the places I camped, I want to try to bring you into my experience as I lived it. I had a wonderful time and can't wait to begin planning my next adventure soon. Take care and thanks for watching. On this day, we decided to leave early to get ahead of some storms that were closing in on our area. We were up around 5 a.m. and on the water around 7. This proved to be a decision I would second guess later in the day, but there was nothing I could do about it at that point. I did end up having to deal with the storm later in the video. Alright, the adventure starts now. 12 to 14 days going down the river. From Itasca to Coffee Pot today. We'll see you in a few hours. I already got my first fly following me. Late. This is exactly the reason that I started the trip in my 10-foot Pelican kayak, to take abuse like this. This is the bridge you will cross when heading to the visitor center at the Headwaters, and yes, it is very shallow here. Eventually, the trees start to fade into a grassland with lots of cattails. At times, the channel is not much wider than my kayak. As you continue to move down the river, there is only one way I can describe the area: green and full of healthy looking life. The water is crystal clear and the plants look bright green and healthy, and there are birds everywhere. This is the last bridge you will see for a good while. After paddling in the wetlands for some time, you enter an area of the river where it seems someone has placed random boulders in the channel just to keep you on your toes. They range in size from obvious and sticking out of the water to big enough to surprise you when you hit them, but not visible from the surface. It's like a driving test, but instead of orange cones, you have hull-scraping boulders that will leave their mark and be with you and your boat the rest of the trip. Dam portage here. First one on the river. Dam portage, first one on the river. Just a couple of logs it looks like, but you can see there's a couple drops there, so we'll go ahead and get pulled out and get across this guy. Alright, quick and easy. The Dam portage. The first real current I've seen on the river. So it's pretty good. And there's a shot of Viken's Dam and what you'll be going around. So, continuing on. It was at some point in this part of the trip that the storms that we woke up early to get ahead of started to catch up to me. I could hear the thunder in the distance, but what I did not realize is the moment you leave Itasca State Park on the river, you lose all cell phone service. I could not check the weather, call my wife for a weather update, or even check my phone's GPS map to see where I was. This is when it got real. I had seen my first lightning. In a last-ditch effort to make a decision on what I was going to do when the storm finally hit, I checked my phone again. This time I took a look at the app Strava, which I was using to track my progress. With no cell service, it was not showing me a map of the area, but it did show a single road ahead of where I was, and the blue line, which was me, just south of that road. I made a decision to go for it and would try to make it to whatever bridge lay ahead. With the thunder closing in, I found my first beaver dam. Luckily, I was able to get around it with no trouble. And shortly after the beaver dam, I came across what is probably the best bridge I could have hoped for, a long tunnel with some land on the inside edge that would give me cover from the impending storm.
Well, I don't know how well you'll be able to see me over here, but hiding under a bridge. It's about 9 miles downriver from Itasca. And as you can see, we
Got a pretty good rainstorm going on out there, and she's been dumping for probably a good 20 minutes now. I started hearing some thunder and lightning, and wanted to make sure I got out of the open as quickly as I could, so this is where I've been sitting. I got zero cell phone reception, so I can't even see what the storm is doing, but hopefully it passes quickly. Having no idea what the weather was doing, I decided that once the storm passed, I would head back out and try to make Coffee Pot Landing. The river had begun to rise, and I got very dirty, so I could not see the obstacles in the water like I could before. I could still hear thunder to the north, which was where the storms were tracking. It wasn't long before the rain returned and was kind enough to stay with me the rest of the day. The speed of the current and the water level were both increasing, which made the next couple miles go quickly. Another milestone on the trip, this would be the second to last public road bridge before I reached camp. I was able to take a quick break before continuing on. The rest of the way to Coffee Pot Landing is spent in a vast wetland. There are tons of twists and turns, as well as small islands in the main channel that force you to make decisions on which way to go. For the most part, they all seem to lead back to the main channel. I just followed where the current seemed to be the strongest.
Ladies and gentlemen, out there is a bridge.
The last bridge before Coffee Pot Landing. It's the home stretch.
So let's get there,
Probably just 5 minutes from reaching Coffee Pot Landing, I finally run out of battery on my camera. Here are some still pictures of my arrival. Alright, well that'll be the end of this video. If you enjoyed, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next episode where I will make a tough decision to alter the route of the trip due to weather, but I do decide to continue. As always, thank you for watching and we'll see you in the next one.